This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Communities across KELOLAND continue to dig out from this week's snowstorm, where some areas received nearly 30 inches of snow. Del Rapids saw up to 26.5 inches of snow.
City Administrator Justin Weiland says street crews have been relentless getting things cleared, but adds there is a lot more to do. He also has some reminders for residents.
We encourage residents to clean the fire hydrants that are out in the boulevards. That's very important in case there's an emergency that those fire hydrants need to be accessed. We also ask folks to place the snow on their sidewalks and their driveways on their own property and not push that to neighboring properties or back out into the street where it's just going to get compacted into ice.
Weiland says crews will be working for the next several weeks to remove snow out of boulevard areas. Meanwhile, KELOLAND News found 8 truckers stranded for days at the rest area on I-90 just outside of Salem on Thursday. They watched as the interstate reopened, but they could not move.
They were blocked in by 4-foot snow drifts, and their brake lines were frozen up. Trucker William Brandley says was traveling through South Dakota, taking a load from Massachusetts to Washington when the Highway Patrol shut down I-90.
Everybody's in the same situation. Some of them just have a couple of feet of snow that can be moved out the way and they can just get out of here. Other ones are frozen up. I'm frozen up from being here so long already,
When you say frozen up, what do you mean?
Airlines are all frozen up.
A tow truck from Mitchell showed up to rescue one stranded driver and ended up helping the rest of them get out. A Brookings woman ended up on an interstate trek during Tuesday's snowstorm. Visibility during her drive to work in Sioux Falls got so bad she ended up in the ditch.
She waited in her car for 3 hours hoping to be rescued by police while brainstorming with her coworkers via text.
Texted me and they're like, don't you have boots? Like, can't you walk? Because I was only 2 miles north of of Sioux Falls and didn't have boots, but then I realized I had my skis in my car.
That's right. She ended up on a cross-country ski excursion to make it the rest of the way to work. You can read about her journey through the snow with this KELOLAND.com original online now. This winter storm forced the community blood bank to cancel several blood drives, leaving a critical need of donations.
If you'd like to help, blood mobiles will be set up today at the Sioux Falls Police Department and Sioux Falls Fire Rescue Headquarters. It's part of the Heroes Behind the Badges blood drive. You can also donate at Avera or Sanford.
Turning to weather, a hazy start to the day thanks to that fog out there, Scott.
We are looking at fog this morning, dense in some areas, enough to give us a dense fog advisory through the morning hours in north central and northeastern South Dakota. It's just a matter of when this fog goes away, how much sunshine we get, and how warm we get. But it looks like temperatures will remain below average today, in the teens and 20s for afternoon highs. We're looking at a high near 30 in Rapid City, where they may hit the lower 40s tomorrow. More details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast with Brian coming up.
Thanks, Scott. Updates are coming to the Sioux Falls Ag Ed program thanks to a significant grant.
$10,000 was awarded to the CTE Academy's Ag Education Program through the CHS Foundation. This funding will help expand the program throughout the rest of the school year.
And I just really hope that they have some good career exploration. We really try to share with our students that you don't have to grow up in ag to work in ag. And I think this is a great opportunity for them to really see that.
With the funding, they'll be able to purchase a high-tunnel greenhouse, farrowing pens, and other livestock items for their lab space. In just 2 days, the SDSU Jackrabbits taking on NDSU for the FCS Championship. The border battle taking place Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time in Frisco, Texas. Our coverage of the game starts and continues today. Sports Director Grant Sweeter will hear from both teams as part of Media Day. Carter Schmidt is traveling along with fans heading to the game in Texas coming up.
Plus, on our website right now, KELOLAND.com's Eric Mayer hears from a former player about this weekend's festivities. He's one of more than 100 former players headed south for the championship game. Be sure to stay with KELOLAND News and KELOLAND.com throughout the weekend for team coverage of the Jacks and Bison. The Roberts County Sheriff's Office is looking for a wanted man. Authorities say 24-year-old Jaron Wilson is wanted for second-degree murder. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs 200 pounds.
The sheriff's office says you should not approach him. If you see Wilson or know where he may be, you're asked to call law enforcement.
Let's look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right. Well, as we start the morning, it's been a pretty view down at Falls Park. Boy, a winter wonderland of frost on the trees. So, you take a moment or two this morning, you can probably take some really neat pictures of this stuff. It's kind of the result of all the thick snow and a lot of the fallout from that. And these foggy mornings, by the way, this is not just really the only one. I think tonight we could probably see more of that forming. Dense fog advisory this morning from Aberdeen to Huron to Watertown, all the way south to Elk Point. So it's really the biggest story there, considering all the snow and ice still on some of these roads. You've got to slow down and give yourself plenty of time to reach your destination. Here's a look at Futurecast, and by and large, temperatures today, Sioux Falls area, we're hoping to get back to the mid and upper teens. I would say our warmest weather will be toward Rapid City. We might even sneak up above 30 around Rapid later today. More of these single digits tonight. That's easily going to help fog formation, so Sioux Falls will be in that conversation. Meanwhile, some clouds and really, for the most part, dry weather. I don't see any major chances of any organized precipitation in our forecast through the weekend. In fact, even into early next week, we are still thinking dry weather. So that's important because we're obviously pretty sensitive to anything now that would come through. That fog in the forecast for Mitchell today, your high at 9, 10 degrees in Huron, and those 20s and 30s in the west. Tonight's lows, single digits above and below 0. Brookings 3 below, Marshall at 1. And then tomorrow, a lot of teens in eastern Ketherland. 41, though, in Rapid City. It is getting better in the west, and I think we've got momentum behind those temperatures in western South Dakota next week. Sioux Falls kind of floats up and down a little bit. We're in the 20s. At this point, not really probably supporting anything above freezing for now. There could be a little snow Wednesday. I still think that there's a lot to iron out on that, and I'm not at all worried about major implications yet. We'll give that a little time. That certainly could pull south of us, and if it would happen to do something here, numbers-wise, we're disconnected from Arctic air, so we don't have any severe cold anytime soon. Aberdeen probably plays out a lot like Sioux Falls on temperatures next week in the 20s. I would say Pierre could have a few opportunities in the low 30s Monday. And keep watching beyond day 7. There's some new evidence growing that we're going to start to pull these temperatures up. And I think Rapid, even though it says 31 and 36 at the end of the forecast, keep going a little ways out. There could be 50s there. So hold on. There's some good news down the road if you like warmer temperatures. More details at KELOLAND.com.